Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is doing fine this evening. Just waiting a little bit for Gabriel and Leo now. So let's give them a few more minutes, or even just a couple of seconds.
Hello, good evening.
We have here Gabriel, and Lionel is also joining. So good evening. Looks like
I
tonight it's Lionel
think
who's having
Lionel is
connection issues.
lost in some fog in the West Coast or something. So,
Well,
yeah,
it can't all.
we're
It can't.
having now a few days of Levante, so the eastern winds. It's been the water. It's been amazing, much warmer, a bit windy, a bit lots of moist, very very humid. But yeah, it's been some nice days here in the Algarve.
Well, amazing. Well, as you know, I've been stuck a little bit at home. That's what new parents do, as always. But let's see if now we can have Lionel join us.
Well, he's trying hard.
There
Hey,
we
Oh, here
go.
we go.
Good
there we
evening.
are.
Oh, man.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Here we are.
So,
Was having some technical issues, but I think it's all sorted out.
perfect.
So, how
So once
are
again,
you?
no, everything is fine.
Okay.
Hope everything
Well,
is
great.
well in around the Lisbon area as well.
Monday.
All good in the
So,
south
It's Monday
side.
again.
yeah, it's Monday again, and some people like, some people don't. But well, for us, it's the day that we have our little 30-minute weekly chat, and so let's get to it. So for starters, welcome everyone to join who is joining us for another Unplugged live session. For people watching us later this week, well, welcome also once again. As you already know, I'm Sergio Costa. I'm from Portugal EV Tours based in the Porto area. And then we also have joining today, we have Leonel Rodrigues from Desirable Portugal Tours based in the central area around Lisbon. And then obviously in the south, we have none other than Gabriel from GL Tours and Travel Algarve from the beautiful town of
Exactly.
Albufeira. So
Exactly.
this week's topic, I know it was a little bit of a short notice, which doesn't give us a lot of time to do any research, but because we're right in the middle of it, I feel like it's an appropriate thing to speak about. And this week's topic, we're gonna talk a little bit about those small festivities, the things that are seasonal, that are unique, and where usually you don't find a whole lot of people, a whole lot of tourists, that is, and it's mostly about locals. So this is the completely different side of Portugal. And I want to preface all of this by saying that you shouldn't be, a lot of people travel during busy times or at times where they know that they're going to witness certain things. I can speak for myself. A lot of people travel in the month of September to the Douro Valley because they want to witness the harvest and because they have that the FOMO, the fear of missing out. And when you're traveling outside of that season, you're not missing out on anything. Okay, you might be missing out on witnessing that key event, but there is plenty of other things to see at the time that you're traveling. And I'm going to start right now with this example of the Douro Valley, people traveling in September. I can tell you that my September is pretty much booked already. It's going to be absolutely crazy, bonkers. But a lot of people are traveling because they want to be there in September. They want to see people picking the grapes and, if possible, see people stomping the grapes and participate in the harvest as well. But for people traveling outside of September, two things immediately come to mind, that there are other interesting time periods to visit the Douro Valley. When people ask me what is the best time to visit the Douro Valley, I usually like to tell people, well, for me, in my opinion, it's going to be late October to November. And Lionel is already nodding, and he knows why. It's
Yeah.
no longer crazy hot anymore. It's no longer super touristy. The valley is starting to slow down a little bit. We have fantastic weather over there, and on top of that, it's the fall, so you get to see all of those very beautiful colors spread throughout the entire valley, the yellows, the greens, the oranges, the purples, the reds. It's very, very beautiful. So this is one of the events that people, in my opinion, should witness at the Douro Valley. Fall season, it's beautiful. I would almost go as far as to describe it as being magical. But there are two periods, maybe two, three periods, if I can say, that are definitely worth visiting at the valley. And one of them is actually right now. For people who like gastronomy, who like good food, typical food, we are now in the, I believe it's actually the 12th year of a festival that we have at Douro Valley. We celebrate the ox heart tomato variety. It's a tomato that is this big, and there are some restaurants and some estates, some vineyards that are engaging in a friendly competition to see who is cooking, who is growing, and who is preparing the best dish using the ox heart tomato. So if you're going to the Douro Valley till the end of this month and even throughout September, try to find a dish that is based around the ox heart tomato, and I can guarantee that you're not going to regret it. Other time periods that you should consider visiting the valley, in my opinion, February, because of the flowering almond trees. In the Douro Superior region of the Douro Valley, we have an area over there which is around Vila Nova de Foscoa, which is known as the Portuguese capital of the flowering almond tree. So second half of February until the end of the first week of March, you have 3 weeks to visit the area over there. It's gorgeous. And for people wondering why that is, picture the Cherry Blossom Festival in Japan, but except that we're not in Japan, we're at the Douro Valley, and instead of cherries, we have almond trees. Very, very beautiful. And I don't know if I should mention this, but for people who have a sweet tooth, we also have some very nice almond desserts that are done, that are prepared over there at the at Vila Nova de Foscoa. Final time of the year, or another time of the year that for me is very beautiful to visit the Douro Valley, you should consider May. It's already starting to get into the peak season, but at the same time, you also get to enjoy some of the nice products of the valley, particularly the fruits and some of the vegetables that are now becoming ripe. We're talking over here mid to late spring, so we already have some fresh produce over there. And for me, I absolutely love late May and early June because of the cherries of the Douro Valley, which is another product that people don't often talk about. We have the wine, obviously, we have the olive oil, and we have the almonds. Those are the top three products of the Douro Valley. But we also have the cherries, we also have the tomatoes, we also have citrus fruits. And there's a plethora of gastronomy to be explored over there. And one of the things that I absolutely love doing with people who are traveling in May is just to stop the car on the side of the road and then have the people give people 5 to 10 minutes to pick a few cherries and try them directly from the tree. I can guarantee those are going to be some of the best cherries that you'll ever try. So these are some seasonal things. If eventually this comes back to me once again, I will tell you a little bit more about other things that we can witness at the Douro Valley and in the country in general. But now I'm gonna pass the ball to Lionel around Lisbon. So what do you have for us in terms of seasonal events and unique things that locals like to do?
Well, I'm going to relate a lot with local traditions that some of them, exist for centuries. And even before Portugal being, a popular destination, the locals immersed a lot in this. I'm going to talk a little bit about some religious processions that can be a very unique event to watch. As most of you might know, Portugal has a big coastline. We've been a fishing country for a long time. So pretty much around summertime, and it shifts normally in between like late July to mid-September, most of the coastal towns will have their annual celebrations, and pretty much all of them will have a very unique day. And that very unique day will be a procession in the evening with the boats all lit up in the ocean. So being a fishing country, being these fishing communities, of course, this is, something very special, and there's thousands of people living from what the sea can provide. And of course, this is their yearly, celebration, but also, kind of a ritual to ask for all of the protection for, their journeys in the ocean. So a little bit everywhere you will have celebrations mostly related with Nossa Senhora da Boa Viagem or Nossa Senhora do Cabo. And I ended up today being in Ericeira, and I live less than 20 minutes away from Ericeira. So this week they're going to have it. And I checked the schedule. So it will be Saturday evening on the 17th. In the evening, they will have that procession with all the boats in the beach lit up. And it's a very unique event. So if you really want to check something that exists for a long time and it's still a local tradition, this is something very special to see. And of course they will have musical concerts. There's a lot of little stands selling handcrafts, of course, all sorts of fast food, all sorts of cakes, local sweets and stuff. But this kind of popular traditional celebrations are all over the country. So if you just do a research on these names I gave you, Nossa Senhora do Cabo and Nossa Senhora da Boa Viagem, you will pretty much find a little bit everywhere a celebration related with it. But then, Danielle is asking the date of the festival in Ericeira. It's already going on, but the procession will be Saturday, this Saturday the 17th. Okay, but it's already going on because I was there today, so they should be having concerts. In fact, I saw that tomorrow they're going to have one of the most popular Portuguese folk artists, Kim Barreiros. So that is normally the most local experience you can get. He's an icon from Portuguese folk music. So another advice I can give, and as a lot of people travel in Portugal by renting a car and by driving around, well, guess what? It's still customary in the small towns or in the along the road to see some billboards or hanging on some light posts or hanging just on the walls or on some fences or so, announcing the popular celebrations on every little town. And each little town will have its own patron saint. So normally from June to early September, you will have festivities everywhere along the country. Well, if you see a sign with the name of a town and with the date of 3 or 4 days next to the days you are traveling, take note of that little town, of that name, and why not give a visit to a small town where you will find a lot of locals, where we will have a lot of food for sure. You might even end up watching some sort of procession, some sort of festivities. They usually also do some sports events and so associated with that. So it's the time where you can really immerse on the local festivities. So this is my advice. Portugal cheers a lot all of these traditions, and in many small towns, you really want to feel as a local, so it just go there, blend in, and of course everybody will welcome you because what they want to share is their joy and their tradition with the foreigners or with the visitors, to spread the word, to have more people to immerse in these traditions. So this is not exactly about a very specific event, okay, but the majority of the events that we have during this season, and they are highly advertised everywhere. Of course, now a lot of people use the social media and such, but I totally understand for a traveler it might be hard to find this kind of stuff online. But just driving along the road, when you see a flashy sign with a name of a town and some dates nearby when you're traveling, that means that you will have something pretty close to you to go there and watch it. And you might end up making new friends and really feel as a local just taking part of this. Okay, so these are my 2 cents for today's topic. There's other stuff that we can talk about as well related with this. But let's hear about Gabriel, because the Algarve, it's often known as the party place with a lot of events. So what do you bring us today?
Yeah, well, it's true. And now, currently, we are living the silly season. We call it here the silly season. Why the silly season? Because, of course, people they are on vacation. We have now maybe 4, 5 times more people than in winter. And people they come with the spirit to have party, okay? But of course, we have also lots of festivals. Medieval fairs and lots of events. I mean, we locals in the Algarve, we always think why we have so many events in summer and much less in winter. Okay, of course, we have more people, so it makes sense to make more events. But for instance, I was just reading here because I comes to my mind. We are currently celebrating here in Albufeira one of the most popular events, which is the Senhora da Horada, which is very next to the marina. So before we built the marina here, there was a field with lots of almond trees and kind of a forest. And we had this Senhora da Horada, which is the pattern for the fishermen here. So, and this is a celebration with over 500 years. So we are having some events, but the main event, which is the procissão, como é que se
The
diz?
procession.
Procession. So we're gonna have the procession. It's gonna be so the 14th. So on Wednesday, it's a huge event there, and it's really beautiful. You know, of course, in the Algarve, there's no such thing like an event in summer without tourists, but it's awesome because, for instance, last Saturday I went to the Enchanted Village in Padern, the white party, and it was amazing to see not only locals, I would say maybe 80%, 70% they were locals, but yeah, I saw many tourists, maybe some expats, and they were having fun together. We all together. It's really a Portuguese a vibe, Portuguese music, not Kim Barreiros, but some alike, you know. And yeah, it's really nice. Okay, we are having lots of events like the medieval fair in Silves, which is already a big fair and it's very well known. It's the biggest one here, but we have more. We have, for instance, in Padern by the end of the year, and we're gonna have by the end, not by the end, in a week, we're gonna have the fair in Castro Marim, very close to the border with Spain, within the river. And to be honest, I mean, I love Silves. It's one of my favorite spots, but the event there is quite big. Because, of course, you know Silves, it's very close to Albufeira, Carvoeiro, Praia da Rocha, Lagos, so there's more people going there. I mean, this is a personal insight. I don't like big events. I like smaller events. So for me, Padern suits much better. And the castle is so old, so unique. The small village with the beautiful view around the castle. I've been there last year, and this year I will go there again. I have to say, I don't like the word favorite, but it's the one I feel better. I don't know, I feel good there, and I will go there too again. So currently, we are having also the big seafood festival in Olhão. I have to be honest, it's been some mess there. I think they were not waiting for so many people because nowadays, like we are talking here about these events, and nowadays someone posts something about an event and it ended up having more people there than maybe they think, and they sometimes they don't have the infrastructures to deal with all people. They don't have the enough stuff. So I read something about people waiting a bit, but I think they already fixed this. So I think tonight and maybe tomorrow it's going to be way better, and it's a great festival, the seafood festival in Olhão. Let me try things. Well, we're going to have the Fatasil, which is a huge event for tourism, artisanat here in Lagoa. It's maybe one of the biggest ones, and it's worth a visit. We have nice concerts with popular Portuguese bands, and I mean, I think many visitors and many expats, although they don't understand the language, you know, the rhythm of the folk music, the Portuguese music, even rock like Chutos e Pontapés, everybody loves, you know. And then you just need to drink some artisanal beer or some wine, and then you're gonna enjoy very much. So it's gonna be another big event we're gonna have here. Okay, some more, let's say, we're going to have the slightly different, of course, this bird watching festival in Vila do Bispo, Sagres. It's also amazing, something totally different, but just for you to have an idea. So we don't only have, party like DJs or something. No, we have different kind of events here too. So this is, I think it's one of the biggest in Europe. Sometimes we have around 5,000-6,000 people visiting the area there in Sagres because it's the migration season by October, at the beginning of October. So it's an amazing event too. There's one more, but now I don't recall, so I'm gonna pass the ball to Sergio, and then I will try to recall because we have a few. I think I have one or two more to share with you. And well, and basically, usually I also like to share on Facebook, on my page Travel Algarve, on our in our group Portugal Unplugged, and throughout Facebook. So sometimes I share the events too. Let me see if I recall something more. So Sergio.
But in the meantime, I'll pick up the slack now. So I told you that there were going to be a few more things that I would like to explore a little bit, and Gabriel already covered a couple of them. But over here in Portugal, a thing that has been a growing trend over the last 15 to 20 years, it's been the medieval festivals and the medieval recreations. And I can tell you that, sure, the summer is the peak season for that, but there's going to be medieval festivals from almost, I want to say, all year round over here in the country because they try not to overlap with each other.
Yeah.
So I'm going to drop in the comments right now a list of a website for all of the medieval festivals that you can browse. And the list has actually been updated today because yesterday was the final day of the medieval festival of Santa Maria da Feira, which is one of the largest ones in the country. It was 11 days of medieval festival. The theme for this year was about King Dom Duarte, but you have a few interesting ones coming up. And one of those festivals that I want to point out is the one that is going to happen next month in Lessa do Balio, which is in Matosinhos, just north of Porto. It's from Porto city center to Lessa do Balio. It's something like 15-20 minutes by car. So it's one of the largest over here, close to Porto, and it's amazing. Fire-breathing artists, jousts, anything that you can imagine, craftsmanship. There's a lot of that happening over there. Typical gastronomy as well, and the medieval recreations, fights, art performances. You're gonna have it all. And what the locals will do is that typically they will go there in the middle of the afternoon and they will stay up until the evening, midnight, and even after midnight a little bit. So this is one of the fantastic things that you can see over there. But I'm watching over here the list, and there's pretty much a medieval festival from north to south of the country, pretty much all weekends and sometimes all week long. Sometimes it's just going to be one day. But I'm seeing listings over here for September, October, November, December. Yeah, December, there's the one that Gabriel was telling us about, the Paderno one. So yep, there's going to be an interesting one, even in the Algarve. So we have the medieval festivals. It's one of the things. And then, well, because I've talked about the December one. December, a lot of people like to focus on the Christmas markets in the cities of Porto, Lisbon, etc. But one of the less known things about Portugal is that we also have Christmas villages. And there are two that stand out over here. One is immensely popular, which is Óbidos, which also hosts a medieval festival. You have the Christmas village over there, and then you also have the chocolate fair over there. So it's one of the, so Óbidos, it's famous for these three things. And besides the
now they even have like a gaming week, literary festival. There's a lot of stuff going on in Óbidos. Yes.
In Óbidos, yeah. So they have everything over there. So Óbidos, like José Herman Saraiva put it once, it's the little showcase of Portugal. But if we're talking Christmas villages, then I have to talk about Cabeça. which is in Serra da Estrela. It's very beautiful. It's a very sustainable Christmas decoration that they put out up throughout the village, where they use the trimmings of the pine trees of the region, and they decorate the entire village with those trimmings, the branches, the pine cones and whatnot. They use just natural materials to dress up the village. And not that it matters a whole lot, but actually Cabeça was also the very first LED village of Portugal. So they were the first ones in the country to change all their public illumination to LEDs. So it's a very sustainable village, and you can actually go inside the houses and see actual houses from people who are still living there, and see how they celebrate Christmas, how they what they serve for the Christmas dinner and whatnot. So there's a few more lists, like for example, Piodon is also a very beautiful Christmas village. You also have Penella, the biggest persepium of the country, and then the old castle of, or sorry, the castle of Montemoro Velho, which is called the Magical Castle as well. So if you're coming to Portugal in around the Christmas time, and if you're coming over here, particularly in the second half of December, these are some of the amazing things that you can see as far as authenticity goes, where you can see traditions that you won't find elsewhere. It's very beautiful to have the markets, sure, but going to one of these Christmas villages, and some of them actually do require to do a multi-day experience over there, in the sense that they are not easily accessible from for a day trip from Porto or Lisbon. You actually have to go there and spend a night in the vicinity, and then explore it the next day, and then come back to Porto or to Lisbon. But it's possible. So if you're coming around the Christmas time, this was definitely one of the things that I would definitely allocate a day or two just to be able to do and to witness these things. So that's it from me. Lionel, anything else to add?
Well, you were mentioning, well, December. I just want to mention something that is from northern Portugal, but that is very unique. In fact, it's already awarded by UNESCO, and it happens at Carnaval. So, Podense,
Oh,
Caretos
yeah.
de Podense. That
Oh,
is
very
a
popular.
very unique event, and it's well a beautiful region that a lot of people disregard. So Trás-os-Montes can be very hot over there nowadays, but they have amazing lakes for people to enjoy and relax, like the Azibo Lake and all of that. Bragança, it's a beautiful city to visit and totally different from winter to summertime. But why don't you come to Portugal in the lowest or slowest season
Oh yeah.
around? That is near Carnaval. That is normally around February, and go to visit something very special. I'm not talking about the more traditional, like Lolé, Torres Vedras, Ovar, and so on. Okay, but Podense can be a very unique experience. It attracts thousands of people, of course, but more local than this, more traditional than this, and more unique. Well, it's something that can't be seen anywhere else. So this is just another thing that I just remembered. So pretty much in every month that you decide to travel, or you can travel in whichever month you want to Portugal, there will be something very special to be seen. And we are going to drop some other ideas, some other suggestions. Feel free to ask your questions, because there's plenty of stuff over here to talk about. So and time just flew by. So
Yeah. So
it's half an hour.
Lionel,
Half
so
an hour
to just
already gone.
to wrap it up a little bit, you were talking about Pudense, but I'm gonna let people in on a little secret, little town at the Douro Valley, that you can also witness a very interesting carnival, and you can actually include it as a part of a Douro Valley tour. You do the village in the morning or in the afternoon, and then you still do your gastronomy experience, you still do your wine tastings, and the little town is called Lazarim. Very
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. They call it the most genuine carnival, o intrudo mais genuíno de Portugal, the most genuine intruders of Portugal. So, and this is at the Douro Valley. It's basically, I don't know, 15 minutes away, 20 minutes away from Régua, which is not that difficult to get to be honest. So yeah,
Yeah,
let's
so-
just hope that people are not going to swarm that village over the 3 days that the carnival lasts over there.
Well,
I'm just gonna finish here too. So in short, and I was just trying to remember some more festivals. Off season, we have many events here too, many related with nature, like the walking festival in Meixial, which is a beautiful village in the Lolé municipality, almost in the Alentejo, on the national tour. So like you said, you said off season. We have many events, and sometimes we are not aware. I mean, we are guides, so we are always try to keep updating. But many of these festivals or these events, sometimes they are the best ones. They are, for instance, here we have the Carnival in Alta. It's very small, but it's very popular. It's very genuine too. I mean, so yeah, people, you just need to keep coming, exploring. You need to unplug a bit. You need to go off the beaten path. You should trust more. I mean, you trust, of course, but you should trust in guides like us because we are so passionate about these things who are not so popular. It doesn't mean we don't like popular. We like popular too. But yeah, let's put some things on the map because there are so many events in so many places to visit in Portugal.
well, thank you for watching.
Thank you
Was
all.
Time to say
a
goodbye.
great chat, and we'll be back next week. So, you already know we are around here 9:30 p.m. Lisbon time. And meanwhile, any questions? Well, feel free to ask. So, from my side here near Lisbon, I hope you have a great week. I wish you a great week, and see you next time over here. So, thank you very much, and good evening, everybody.
Have a
Likewise.
good week, everyone.
Good evening.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.